Alright. Looks like this thing actually works. A record, Ms. Basil. Oh God, please don't. Dearest guests of the Nightingale Hotel, I wish you a good morning. I am the fiend with too many faces, no doubt the villain of this story. As you've probably realized by now, the staff made their exit during the night. Your means of leaving this place for the next 4 days left with them. I'm afraid you're officially trapped. You may attempt to descend this mountain of your own accord, of course. You should, however, know that freezing to death is as painful as it is sad. And I am of the belief that the pain can always be avoided. You are not here because I hate you. You are not here because you're bad people. I have not done this because I'm evil. Nor am I delusional enough to see myself as righteous. Put simply, I have no reason to hurt. You have no reason to be hurt. I put you in a box. In 4 days I will take you out for the box. In the meantime, you are free to do as you wish. This need not be any worse than an unplanned extension of your vacation. There is only one rule you must abide by. If you break it, you will never leave this place. It's simple. It's super simple. Remember, no reason to hurt, no reason to be hurt. As long as you do not break this one rule, these conditions will not change. Dear guests, while I have you in this box, you may not kill anyone. Welcome one, welcome all. Welcome to Day 1 of a Turnabout with Too Many Faces. An Ace Attorney fan game developed by... Will you please stop bleeping at me? I am trying to talk, thank you very much. Yep, that was our cold open. Rip to the VOD, but I'm different. Welcome to the first episode in a good, very long time of Ace Attorney Fan Games Showcase. My name is, as ever, Mitsuda. I am a forensic scientist who will be serving as your humble guide through this world of not at all official video games. Don't believe anyone who is here presently was present during our aborted first attempt. Goodness me, this music is loud. Is this loud for you all? During our aborted first attempt at doing this, so allow me to talk ourselves through. Hello, Otome, hello, Nia, and hello, Discord Lite. Welcome to the stream. It's a pleasure to meet you. Thank you for joining us on our little adventure today. It's actually a really cool concept, I like that. The stream concept or the mystery, I guess, pitch thus far, because if it's the former, then well, thank you, I do my best. And if it's the latter, then yes, I am riveted to the floor already, let me tell you. I thought Dr. Mdo was doing an ignore stream chat. I need to read the dialogue, Atome. We're working on no budget. We don't got any voice acting. I gotta fill in. It's a dirty job, but it's honest work. Yes, as Atome has demonstrated for us all today, I have set up a redeem. Not a redeem, a chat command. See a bunch of time in IDSU in Discord, I wanted to give you a follow. A bunch of times? Really? I actually feel bad about how little I hang out with IDSU on her Discord, even though I'm... I use say in English already present, but... Yes, I do recognize you from their Discord. Discord, like, this is getting confusing. But yeah, whatever the case. As I was in the process of describing before I went and distracted myself, tonight's game is a turnabout of Too Many Faces. If you type !game in chat, you will get a link to the play. It is a free game, so if you'd like to tap out now and go play it for yourself on your own time, I won't feel bad. I'll consider that my job done. This game was developed by DWaM, DWaM, capital D, capital W, lowercase a, capital M, who is the same author, responsible for the short stories we read back when Sunday night readings were a thing I did regularly, so he's a pretty important figure in the mystery sphere, and also a veteran Ace Attorney fangame developer. Although, he is fairly tapped out, which is honestly not that big a problem in my mind. I am in the extreme minority of Ace Attorney fans who knew DWaM's name, like, back when he was in his prime in the fangame developing sphere. Wasn't really super enthusiastic about any of his works. But everything he's done since joining, I guess not really doing. What am I trying to say here? I know what I'm trying to say, I just can't make the words come out. Everything he's done since he stopped making fangames and started going independent has totally blown me away. Just honestly, legitimately one of my favorite authors active today. Will he be able to parlay those new skills to reincorporating into a good game? We'll have to see. Tonight's game was originally developed for a contest being held on the Ace Attorney online fan forums, the #1 spot for Ace Attorney fan games, and I'm not ashamed to admit where I got basically every game I have as a candidate for this little sub-series we may or may not continue after this. And it was a pretty important contest too, because its contest theme was recurring multiple themes from other contests. Right at the starting gate, I don't know what 3 themes DWaM picked, but I believe they may have included a fairly restrained cast. We were told there were only 4 people present here today. And I'm certain they also included don't kill anybody. Yes, we are not looking at a murder mystery story. At least I don't think we are. We've been told we need to avoid killing anybody, but enough of that. I've said enough words. Let's try actually playing the game we're talking about now that I've already frittered away 15 minutes just explaining the concept of a fangame to you all. So then, let's meet our motley crew, why don't we? Well then, I guess it's true what they say. If you get a voucher for a free vacation, it's probably bait for some kind of killing game. You know, it's funny, that actually is a thing I say fairly regularly. I would very much appreciate it if you did not use such language. Don't have any profiles yet. Do you have an issue against old Buddhist sayings, Miss Basil? Only against those not actually said by Buddha. Ahem. In any case, I do believe killing has just been expressly forbidden. I would avoid dramatizing the situation, Ms. Starr. Darling, we've just been Agatha Christie'd. I think we've crossed the line of dramatic. Curses. Damn you, Christie, you overrated hack! Stop trapping us all in spaces! It just front-loads all the evidence when I get there. Also, I'm amazed you're taking a self-admitted fiend at his word. Especially given that he has a little bit more than technically kidnapped us. As I checked, that is still illegal. And also Vera's here too. Atome, I know you evidently haven't played past the first game, and I don't know how much experience the rest of you have with the series, so I should point out, just explicitly for those of you who don't already know, all of the characters we've met thus far, Angel, Star, Lisa, Basil, and Vera Meisham, are all canon characters from the Ace Attorney franchise. So we can't go about killing any of them off, which does give further credence to the fact that we're not going to be killing anyone today. I mean, we haven't unlocked a profile section in the court record. Court record, oh god, you all can't see the court record, I didn't think this layout through. Oh god, there's no space for there isn't really any space left on screen for it either. Oh well, I guess I'll just have to talk you through it. Anyway, no, these are all characters. I only watched RC Gaming, I barely paid any attention when he did play Ace Attorney. Well, that's hardly my problem, DLC. You overpriced son of a gun. We are not here because we are bad people. That could be taken in a different way. That he believes we are bad people, but that it has nothing to do with his motive? Duly noted, Miss Meisham. Inspiring stuff. I'm not sure having an attitude will improve our situation, Ms. Starr. Attitude? Do I not have the right to be a little peeved here? I have a dinner reservation tomorrow and my boyfriend worked very hard to get it. Out of all my boyfriends, he's always the one to put in the most efforts. Some loon just made that effort mean nothing. Okay, we were told on the record that there are 4 people here. We've met 3 of them. I assume the 4th one is going to be our viewpoint character. Okay, for the benefit of our audience members who don't know, I suppose I should point out what the game probably assumes we're going to know going in. I thought the 4th was us. Yeah, that's what I just said. So Miss Angel Star here is a police detective. That is her job. I can never forgive that. Miss Basil here works at a computer company. Maybe the 4th is the victim, but Otome, we're not supposed to kill anybody. What, do you think that nice, honest fiend who kidnapped us all would lie to us? That's unthinkable. Yes, Miss Basil works in customer rep at a computer company. And Vera Meisham is a hikikomori. How about we call the police? Because when you experience a wonderful day, I'm going to the trash can. If you need me, I'm going to the shadow realms. That just means I'm right to the Wendy's. Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Yeah. An excellent suggestion. Unfortunately, it would appear cell phones are getting no reception at this altitude. just as it would appear that the landline has been cut. Yes, do follow Tommy's advice, DLC. Stay safe. Do not die. I don't want that on my plate. Which, as we all know, is an action taken only by sane, non-murderous people. Look, think of it this way. Just because we can't kill each other doesn't mean that our captor can't kill us. You processing it a bit better now, Ms. Basil? That's... Still, perhaps Alchemisters will be of some use here. Guilty always try to hide in the shadows and watch the situations from afar. And I'd say there's someone here that's been rather quiet, haven't they? Huh? Wait, why are you looking at me like that? I just don't have anything to add. Also, the voice on the vinyl was clearly male. Voice modulators are a thing, don't you know? Besides, you're the most suspicious-looking person here. What? Hello? Do you not see the robot lady? What did you say you did for a living? I'm an artist. That's the third time you've asked me that. Admittedly, you're more of a stalker than a mastermind on the suspicion meter. Appearances can be deceiving, though. I mean, if all murderers looked like murderers, then we wouldn't really have a mystery genre, and if we didn't really have a mystery genre, then I didn't exist, then I wouldn't exist. And if I didn't exist, then you all wouldn't be here, and you wouldn't be hearing me explaining how the mystery genre does exist. Gee, thanks. On the other hand, they may not be. It's a good thing you exist, Dr. Medoy, is it though? Is it really? My detective instincts are going off the charts here. It's those fancy shoes of yours. Paint a picture as clear as day. What's wrong with my fancy shoes? Besides the discomfort. Don't try to change the subject. Tell me. Do you feel the thrill locking yourself up with your prey? Do you expect us to weep and beg and cry in frustration? No, please, knock this off. Look, I don't know why this is happening any more than you guys do. I also got the stupid voucher. And you're saying you didn't find it strange someone chose to give you a free vacation? No? What's that supposed to mean? Should I have? We still don't know who our protagonist is, but apparently they have fancy shoes, they are an artist, they're a woman, and it's weird that someone would give them a free vacation. But not weird that someone would give a police detective, an HR rep, and a hikikomori daughter of an artist. I don't think that corresponds to anybody from the canon Ace Attorney franchise. So... maybe it's someone who's often accused of murders in the main series. If we're looking at women, the most suspicious person would be Maggie Bird. She's never been portrayed as an artist in canon, but I have no idea when this game is set. It could be after Apollo Justice Ace Attorney if Vera is talking this easily. Got no idea what she does after Game 3. Could be Lotta, she's had so many jobs, she could be anything, but our protagonist doesn't have an accent. And she isn't starting fights with anybody. So obviously it can't be her. Damn it! How am I always the bad guy? Yeah, everyone knows a lot of heart comes from the heart of the heartland. And even if she does change jobs pretty regularly, she's always carrying around her camera. Oh, I just wanted to see the mountains. Oh, worst vacation ever. I guess I should at least be happy nobody ended up trying to sell me a timeshare or something. Take that, friends who found the voucher too good to be true. Pretty good innocent goof face you've got going there, I admit. But know that cuter faces than yours have failed to deceive me. If you are the culprit, whatever you're planning isn't going to work. Got it? But I didn't do anything. I really didn't. It's not like I want to believe you're innocent or anything, but baka. Guilty boy, but there's no guilty boys here. Mostly by virtue of the fact there aren't any boys of any sort. There are no women in Ace Attorney. Only extremely... Oh god, it's in my eyes. Ah, my face. Yeah, what we were just talking about? Oh, right, we're still being accused of murder, despite the fact that there's no murders to accuse of us of all. It's gotta be a new record. Putting aside the blatant mistrust, I am of the belief that we should take the record at its word. After all, if anyone meant us any harm, they could have struck during the night. Dr. Mudoy must be the biggest hater of headpads. No, I just I missized the hand, so now every time someone redeems the headpad, I wind up getting thumb in my eye. I'm too lazy to go back and fix it. Your typical slasher movie Rampage isn't very in right now. Yeah, well, anyone here could fix that at any given moment. The point I'm trying to make is that we all just get along and try waiting it out, okay? How'd you be able to read like that? Very carefully. I am baffled at your lack of common sense. How are you not getting this? We are very likely in some kind of danger here. We need to figure out how to get out of here. Like, now? There's a snowstorm raging outside, though. All problems have solutions. Yeah, well, some tend to be bad. You avoid those. Did she get that one from Buddha, too? The Buddha was a very perceptive man. He knew a thing or two about how to avoid getting stabbed. Unlike that poor Jesus fella, man, did you hear what they did to him? It was terrifying. What does that say in Morse code? My god, Vera's actually a snake, I knew it. If the intent is not to harm us, why trap us? Yes, exactly my point. I can, at the very least, agree that we should not simply stand around. I am, however, still of the belief our fiend was being honest with us. Vera fits the artist description. Yeah, but she's not us. We're us. And Vera's Vera. Two people can never truly become one, no matter how emotionally close they grow. Right, well, consider this a preemptive I told you so from me. Just in case I get killed before I have a chance to say it at the right time. You are a woman of staggering optimism, Ms. Starr. Careful, Miss Basil, that almost sounded like attitude to me. Then they started playing the super bit-crushed GBA music. Alright, we are in fact snowed in at a pension again. I swear to God I'm not doing this on purpose. There's really nobody here. I wonder how they got all the staff to leave. An excellent question, actually. Nightingale isn't exactly your run-of-the-mill dump. Guess we'll be exploring the air for now. We're finding nothing, so I'll be able. Okay, you do that. Yeah. Isn't the whole selling point that celebrities come here or something? Hard to believe you could just get everyone on board with this kind of stunt. I suppose that would imply that the mastermind is the owner? What kind of an idiot would throw away a hotel's entire reputation for something like this? Were you not the one arguing about the culprit's lack of rationality moments ago? No, I was arguing our captor is a lying lunatic. I was willing to give him at least the benefit of the doubt when it came to intelligence, but... Vera, I can see the wheels spinning in your head. Would you like to share with the rest of the class? They could still be hiding in the hotel, couldn't they? In which case, I say we find him. Given the size of the hotel, they would not have a hard time dodging us. Which is why we split up. Fantastic. VR, thank you for following. I'm certainly suspicious enough to warrant it. Welcome to the Ace Attorney Fangame Showcase. 3 canon characters and a narrator who will not tell us her name have been trapped in a snowy hotel. But our captor has left a record telling us not to kill anybody. Curious. We've just started, you haven't missed that much, so feel free to jump on in. Which is why we split up. Are you crazy? That is dangerous. I thought we were supposed to give our fiend the benefit of the doubt. There is a line between spreading panic and acting on the side of caution. As long as we stick together, nothing should happen, yes? I came back. Okay, nothing happened. You were right, Homie, nothing happened. Dr. Midori, do you have any idea how long this game is? Not a one whatsoever. I am flying blind as a bat. Well, I'll be taking my leave now. Bye-bye. Whoa, wait a minute, that's just dumb. Listen, I know how to take care of myself, okay? I imagine it must be short, though. This was a contest game. It was all produced on deadlines. But... God knows I've been surprised in the past. You all weren't there at the time, but last time I did a 30 Fangame Showcase, I picked a pretty random, unimpressive looking game just to start us off, and that stream wound up lasting me 7.5 hours. I had to cancel the day after because I lost my voice for talking so much. So I am prepared for anything. No offense, but you guys... Document streamed for that long. It was, and I hated every minute of it. You guys aren't exactly inspiring a lot of confidence in me. mean, that's not completely fair. I did wind up really liking the game itself. Oh, whatever the case. While the feeling is, I assure you, mutual, I still think you should not be foolish about this. If there's nothing to be worried about, what's the problem? Okay, we get it already. The fiend could be waiting to stab us out in the hallway. Just cool it with this, would you? Shouldn't we at least try and think about why this could be happening? I've already told you. You're not listening, so there's not much I can do to help you, I'm afraid. Come see me if you change your mind, okay? Before this gets started, I don't mind if you stop reading a bit. Yeah, but what if we, like, wind up losing bitrate while we're in the middle of the stream, and stream quality winds up dropping down so low you can't read it? It would be terrible. If you think we're in danger, you shouldn't just leave us to ourselves. Why not? You say it like you're hoping I'll protect you or something. That's not what I said. If you want to order me around, please get a spine, okay? Oh, but I hate having spines. They snap constantly. Just every time I get a posture check, it's just... You've got your little leather jacket and all, and I know you think that makes you look tough. Okay, we're definitely not playing as a canon character. A female artist in fancy shoes who's not Vera. Would be weird. That doesn't map to anybody in the Ace Attorney franchise. And now the leather jacket. I know exactly which stock fan-made sprite we're going to be played by when we inevitably get to actually see ourselves. Okay, so if we're not a canon character, the question of the hour is, who are we? But it's all about character, and you're not showing any. I don't really see why you're attacking me. I just meant... Bye-bye. Later, losers, I'm gonna go separate myself from the protection of the crowd. Like a detective. Bye-bye. I think your leather jacket looks very good on you. Thanks, Lisa. Thanks. I mean, I know that. I think. Oh, DWaM even makes Mineko fan games. Yeah, they do. Tommy, you mentioned that earlier. Have you ever played Mineko no Nakukoto ni before? Part of me kind of wants to stream it as a mystery game as well, but Jesus Christ, it would be such a commitment. Olivia, you're still there? That's her in the corner. That's her in the spotlight, losing her religion. There's something you should know. You were not around when I found the record, correct? Yeah, I totally overslept. Still not sure how all their shouting hadn't woken me up. So, you were the one who found it? Even after finding the record, we were debating on whether we should actually play it. As you can likely imagine, I was in favor. Ms. Starr was not. Much like an internal IT team, she seems against making progress in a critical situation. When I found the record, I also found something else. Was it the feeling of self-respect that only comes with true accomplishment? It looks like a notebook of some kind. Oh. I mean, I guess that's cool too. A part of it, anyway. A lot of the pages seem to have been ripped out. Let's see. I cannot help but notice you withheld this information until Ms. Starr left us. That may make more sense when you read it. Interesting. What is it? There's something written on the cover. A turnabout with too many faces. Oh. Oh god, we're getting meta. But my lore is already a layer of meta on top of this. God, chat. Could one of you go, give a top a little twirl? I just want to see if it ever falls down. Not sure how deep we're going. Oh hey, our core record just opened. We have a Magatama. And our profile pic is opened. We're playing as Phoenix Wright, 33 in his appearance from Apollo Justice. Alright, we're going deep. Me. Defense attorney turned piano player turned poker player turned general smart person. I'm reading off the court record for those of you who aren't aware. November 21st, 7:11 p.m. The Borscht Bowl Club. Let's see. This adds up to $100 for yesterday. That don't look like any American money I've ever seen, Phoenix. Another night where I can only get paid for the previous night's piano playing. And another night where I had to push it to 3 a.m. just to make this much. Well, the sum's right, sure, but it's not good enough. It'll be enough to cover the drinks for Edward's watch party, I guess. I can't believe Phoenix is doing hashtag Discord watch-alongs on his hashtag Twitch accounts. www.twitch.tv/risefromtheashes. 16. He only has 3 followers. Not they asked me to bring any. Everything in order? Yeah, we're good. We got last night's payment. This is roughly $100. More than usual, since last night I stayed up playing all the way until 3 a.m. Obviously, the games pay way more. Trouble is, nobody's paying. Received from Olga Orley. Been kinda slow around here, hasn't it? Having rumors about people getting murdered here doesn't drive business. Oh no. So this is post 4-1? Guess that checks out. I don't know about that. Usually it's places like these class. Besides, I don't think the club is short of those types of rooms to begin with. A bit of a difference between Johnny Two Hands got whacked and Wright killed his opponent. Well, good thing I didn't do that. I don't know how this is news to you, but the Underworld is a gossip club second only to high school. You say that like you're neck deep in it. I've watched The Sopranos. Take my word for it, miss. The Underworld doesn't really exist these days. It's mostly just wannabe gangsters. Mama boys doing mama boy things. Anyone to cut above has just gone online. Yes, they went on to the dark web. It's like the web, but they spend less money on lighting. Which is where you suckers are, Nicky boy. Online poker's all the rage. Later they finally got fed up with the piano playing. And now, I can play with my eyes closed. I would argue that's part of the problem. If the complete lack of talent hadn't been there to begin with. Ms. Delight, long time no see. Yes, Olga Orley, a small-time gambler making ends meet at the Borscht Bowl Club. And Desiree Delight. Thrill Seeker, wife of Ron Delight, a former client of mine. May or may not also be the wife of Mask to Mask, who may or may not be Ron. Who knows? I certainly don't. Yep, again, everyone present in this scene is a canon character from a game. Nicky boy, you remember. You haven't aged a day, Desiree. You got the same sprite sheet and everything. Well, you haven't made it difficult. I don't think you've changed a bit. Phoenix, stop stealing my jokes. Thanks. I mean, sorry I can't say the same to you, but thanks. It's just the beanie throwing you off, trust me. I feel like the legend part of Legendary Gambler gave you a decade all by itself. Not true, I might be old and shambling and tired and useless at most things, but... Huh. That's the kind of can-do attitude I like to see. Psst. This Mark. Wife of former clients. Wife of a former... I can't shift back and forth between accents quick enough. This is confusing. Howdy boy. I don't like that. Well, my interest has plummeted. Gonna go man the bar. You guys need anything? Thanks, I'll have a great, fantastic, I'll leave you to it. And she was gone. Never to be heard from again. Not really much of a club-tacky club, is it? I like the atmosphere, personally. Not really feeling one. Besides the cold. That's it. That's the atmosphere. Given the snowstorm outside, though, it's hard to call it unique. Maybe that's what's driving the customers away. Yeah, you would think you'd eventually want to reheat your building at some point. And your Borscht, for that matter. Oh, whatever. Yeah, the usual song and dance, Phoenix. Ah, yes. This freezing cold takes me back to those days of youth long gone now. Life-giving water. Nectar of the gods. Okay, Nicky boy, let's not make you any older than you have to be. Especially when there's more fun things to discuss. Nobody ever comes around here for the drinks. Oh, the music, from what I hear. I take it the fun things also don't include reminiscing about the time Ron got arrested. Well, went all the way to jail, and got back out. I went in and out again. That's such a great case. Afraid not? You here to play, then? Yes. Chestnut poker. I'm not too sure good. Not sure I'm too good with much else, to be honest. Does that mean you'll turn your back on my game as a legendary gambler? You know, not really an all-round gambler. I think I'm just a legendary poker player. On some days, even a legendary defense attorney. Yeah, remember back when this was about murder mysteries? That was fun. I mean, you'll shy away from my challenge? I guess I might have to. Even if we were to play for $15 million? Of course, I'll hear you out first. Happy to hear it, Nicky boy. Sounds like a scam to me. Nobody would give a scam this blatant, especially not to somebody they actually knew. Like, this is so absurd, it has to be legit, as they say. Oh god. Chat, I don't know what to do. We don't have an attorney's badge to present! Okay, can we present anything in that case? Oh, we can present our Magatama. What you doing, Nicky boy? And the fact that it's not reaction does mean she's at least somewhat legit. Excellent question, given that I'm not even seeing any psych locks. Hey, look at all this money I have. Do you really think that I'm strapped for cash, or are you just showing off? I don't know if $100 is much to show off with. Especially if that's all you've got in your wallet. Anyway, enough of that, let's do what all men do and talk about myself. I heard you got yourself arrested for murder not too long ago. Not exactly the kind of publicity you want, but... you roll with the punches. That you do. Even if the punches never seem to stop coming. And they don't stop coming, 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 and they don't. Hear me out, chat. Stop coming. And they don't even stop coming. Hey, Desert, how have you been lately? She seems eager to talk about something else at the moment. Alright. I have to wait for a topic to come up more naturally. Alright, here we go. I know a pro when I see one. This is Olga. She isn't one of them. I didn't know you were that familiar with the art of waitressing. Yeah, familiar enough to know that the first step of pretending to be one is serving the customers. Alright, that's all we had to present. Now, it is of the utmost importance that we put off actually progressing the plot for last to see as much optional stuff as possible. So let's have a look around. Alright. Okay. Look at these bottles. I should quit drinking this stuff one of these days. Tough. Being cooped up all here all night with nothing to do. Even pretending to play piano gets pointless if there's no one around. I gotta do something with my hands, you know? Phoenix, it's just grape juice, calm down. Right. Over the piano. Tracy says I'm getting better. Kid's a natural-born liar, but she means well. I guess she figures I can drop it after I retake my bar exam. Assuming I actually do that. Man, why am I still doing this? Oh, are we post the entirety of Game 4 in that case? If that's an option? Not like I particularly enjoy being down in the hideout, pissing off egomaniacs. Interesting. If it isn't too far from what I'd get back to doing, I guess. Right, it's on the chalkboard. Special of the day? Bullshit. Someone suggested the club should introduce the Christoph Gavin special. The manager said it was a suggestion beyond poor taste. Which is not what you want out of a restaurant. probably why they rejected it. Shame, I thought it was one of my better ideas. Ah, badumch. Is there anything else in here? It's not looking like it. Okay, rest of the room's empty. We're all dressed up with nowhere to go. Look, I wore pants. That counts as getting dressed up by my standards. Considering that, you know, I don't have any legs. Alright, what's your story? Give us our call to adventure. Toss a plot hook right around the cuff of our collar of our shirt. Well, I'm all ears. I knew the cash would really in. Desiree doesn't really have a southern accent, but I don't know what else to give her. Just to be clear, I haven't agreed to anything yet. I'm just curious. That's all. 15 mil isn't exactly pocket change. Depends on who you're asking. People have all sorts of ludicrously valuable stuff, just ripe for the taking. Ironically, the more ludicrously valuable, the less they seem to notice it missing. Desiree, are you hiring Phoenix to perform a heist? I wonder how you'd know that. As I do. So, what's the story here? Heist's not giving you enough thrill anymore. Goodness, who do you take me for? There's anyone else that shows up at my door. Sorry. I'm here looking for a thrill, sure, but not because I'm bored of Ronnie's profession. If you only saw him now. Things are crazier than ever. His little things on the side are, if anything, a way of powering down. It's on my money, of course. Ronnie knows how I use it, and he doesn't mind. I see. But see, problem is, I'm not sure I can really pay you back if I lose, you know? If I lose are 3 words no gambler should ever speak. Yeah, never risk the odds, never weigh your numbers at all. A good gambler is somebody who doesn't consider their options at all. Don't you know? Desiree, this is why your family was in debt before Ron started stealing things. Touché. Yet, even so. Starting by Azure Link, says Phoenix Wright. Aren't you tired of this place? Don't you ever get tired of being nice? Don't you ever just want to go apeshit? I can leave whenever I want. And the only reason you haven't is because you're looking for something to justify all of it. I am. Yes, I am. Hey, what were we talking about? Trust me, I've been all over the world. From Kiev to Carolina. I've seen it in a lot of people. The people you play these games with, I imagine. People who I beat. Who are, mind you, one and the same. you're something of a legend yourself, then. And for my last game, it's only fitting I go up against you. So they are talking about gambling. Sorry, I'm just thinking. They're definitely talking about a gambling game, but it's not poker. Guess it makes sense you'd think Phoenix would be a fitting final opponent, so the question is, why does she have to retire? I expect Phoenix is about to bring that up. You saved Ronnie? You saved me? You basically started this entire chapter of my life. It's only fit now that it's coming to an end that you should be involved in some way. Coming to an end? Ronnie's hanging up the coat and mask. He's not being Batman no more. The voice was just too hard on his throat. We've got all the money we could ever want for. And the world's gotten a bit too depressing to enjoy the gentleman thief aspect of it all. He's preparing someone to take his place in everything. Why you think you have to be here? Because as ready as I am, I'm also not good with regrets. And I feel like if I didn't play a crazy of a game as this, I'd never forgive myself. Honestly, you're nuts. No, thanks. What is it then? This game that you play for money. It's a game of memory. Oh, great, I'm awesome at these. Or rather, our ability to trust it. Game of memory, huh? The only game that comes to mind when you say memory is matching pairs. Well, it's a bit like that. Minus the cards, not needing to match any pairs. So it's a game. But you haven't seen anything like this before. Well now, Ms. Delight, I know what a pill looks like. I mean, I'm looking at one right now. Oh, but you've never seen this pill! It's right here. It's Nemesine. It's an experimental drug that, as far as the world is concerned, doesn't actually exist. It was created back in the 70s by the CIA or something. I got stuff in my throat. And like with most things CIA related, its intended use wasn't really ethical. Few capsules like these even exist. The main researcher took the formula to his grave. I have only 5 of these on me. What does it do? It's an extremely precise memory wiper. You take it, everything feels perfectly normal, and 6 hours later, the effects of the drug trigger, wiping those 6 hours from your memory. We are going very deep down the list of high concepts here. Gotta say. I'm not into it, mind you. It was originally used by interrogators. They would take one of these before an interrogation, go into their little room, from whatever act of brutality they thought was necessary to get their answer. And then 6 hours later forget what they'd done. For all intents and purposes, it absolved them of their guilt. That's insane, honestly. Not sure she should have this. I'm not sure anyone should have this. Wait, if they do that, they'll forget all the information. No, they'll keep a tape recording of the actual interrogation, I'm sure. Just gotta drop off your own memories of, you know, prying off the person's kneecaps with a crowbar or whatever they do. I don't think I'm liking where this is going. Oh, come on, Nicky boy, we're just getting to the gamble. Game is simple. They took away one of my options. I don't appreciate that. I'm still using that. We both take one of these. When we do, we'll keep the entirety of our free will. Every action we take will be entirely our own. 6 hours later, we won't remember what those actions were. The bet is this. If, after those 6 hours, I can prove you stole something, I win. Pardon? Pardon? Well, you're a lawyer, right? No. You of all people should know that evidence is the thing that determines a person's guilt. If I can show to you, with genuine evidence, that you stole something in those 6 hours, and if you're unable to find any evidence to prove otherwise, then I'll win. Much like I would in a court of law, no? Sounds like an easy win. Oh, I don't know, my brain's already spinning in a few different directions. God only knows what sort of surprise information she'd spring on us after we take a pill that would make us want to steal something. Or worst case scenario, she could of course just break into our house and plant stolen property on us. I mean, any evidence of the house being broken into could always be proof that we faked in order to make ourselves look less suspicious. I mean, even we wouldn't know we didn't actually did that. She has to prove that it was us that did it. And that she wasn't the one who did it. Since she had a motive. I mean, people with motives wind up with alibis all the time. She's been in court with us twice. She's seen a few clever tricks in our day. Hang on. First, what are we considering as stealing here? If I accidentally take someone else's napkin, is that stealing? That's boring is what that is. You ninny? When I say steal, I mean steal something guarded. As in you doing a heist. What is genuine evidence? Like, you know, not forged. Police evidence, trustworthy witnesses, security footage from the place you'd rob. Things like that. That's a far higher standard of evidence than I was expecting from a private gamble between two people. She's saying, okay chat, hear me out here. She specifically listed security footage from a heist as things that would be evidence against us. And the culprit of the kidnapping case up on the level above us that we're currently reading about, I assume, call themselves the Fiend with Too Many Faces. That's a reference to the literary character the Fiend with 20 Faces, who was a master of disguise. And the canon Ace Attorney franchise has already featured at least one master of disguise. And Phoenix himself has been impersonated at least twice in canon. I wonder... I see. But since I get to keep my own free will, and I know I'd never rob a bank or something like that, and I have a $15 million incentive to not do it, you'd basically need to frame me. Evidently. But if you frame me to the point where even I'd have to admit I did it, then I'd probably just end up in jail, right? Yes, so? How am I supposed to agree to something like this? Well, I don't know, that's part of the game. This isn't just 15 million on the line, it's likely 15 years of my life on top of that. You know, there's a certain type of protagonist I can envision agreeing to this game specifically because of how absurd the stakes are and how bold of a game of wits it sounds. Phoenix isn't one of them. I think Phoenix would genuinely walk away from this and leave it to some professional gambler who'd probably wind up turning up dead and needing to, with Desiree being accused and needing to be defended. Curious how DWaM is going to square this, because I know he's thought a lot about this franchise, given the amount of games he's got under his belt. It's not like you should just stand around twiddling your thumbs for 6 hours. That's true. We could run outside and make a deliberate point to have an alibi for every moment of the time from there until they bring us in. If she's going to use the 6 hours to try to frame me, I can use the time to get an alibi. See, Phoenix, I knew you were in your smart form today. What's the point of the drugs, though? I mean, again, I know I'd never rob anyone, evidence or not, I'm confident enough in myself. Are you? I guess that's part of what I'm interested in seeing. At the same time, the experience should be interesting for me. After all, I haven't even begun to think about how I'm going to frame you. I intend to start only after I take the drug. When the mist clears, I'll need to retrace my own steps and realize what I even did. This is so anime, and I love every second of it. What if Death Note was Liar Games starred Phoenix, right? Becoming a stranger to yourself for a short amount of time. Even so... Nikki, boy, I know you've got a daughter. I'd never let you go to jail. If you get arrested, Mask to Mask will confess to the whole thing and clear you. Since you won't actually do it, there will need to be another possible culprit in the picture. That's true. Of course, arrested or not, if you lose, you'll be indebted to me. Yeah. On the other hand, if I win big. Sounds about it, Nikki. You gambling man today? Bigger than any bet I ever made down there in that basement. Bigger than anything I ever made after a case. I mean, Phoenix, like, half of your cases ended without you getting paid. That's not that big of an accomplishment. If I could finally stop moving Trucy between schools, I can make sure her dreams on the big stage come true no matter what. All I need to do is take this pill and be smart about my actions. Well, Nicky boy, what will it be? I just need to think about this logically. Look at him brood. Alright, chat, fire up your brains. Whatever Phoenix is about to say, it's definitely going to contain some sort of logical flaw, otherwise they wouldn't be giving it to us straight up like this. Alright, let's go. The key thing here is that I get to keep my free will. Obviously, there's a chance Desiree's lying about the drug, could just be sleeping medicine. But given that my Magatama hasn't acted up, I'd say it's all on the level. At the very least, she believes it is. That's my game plan, then. One option is to just go home and hang out with Truthy. Absolutely not. Her testimony would be written off as biased. You wouldn't get an alibi. And the frame-up happens, my own daughter's word probably won't make for a good alibi. Okay, good, I'm glad we agree. Not sure why you even bothered bringing this up as a possibility. It's night, and I don't think anyone can convince me to... I can convince anyone to spend time with me for 6 hours. How do you think you would beat this game, Doctor? I'm not sure. I don't really have enough of a social life to just call up a complete stranger and say, "Hey, would you mind terribly if I was with you continuously for 6 hours?" Let me see, let me think. Maybe. I wonder. The best defense would probably be to get yourself an alibi, but it would need to be one solid enough to defend yourself against the Kaito kid, perfect master of disguise I expect she has in reserve. For the reason I mentioned, what if you went live for 6 hours? Oh, Tame, you brought up this possibility yourself, what if it was just a pre-recording? I mean, I'm not showing you my actual meat space body. I mean, yes, I am in lore, but like, let's think realistically for a second here. Maybe if I called my sister and just like... I doubt she'd expect the actual... She'd accept the actual explanation. Maybe if I asked her to go to a movie with me... The thing I would want, the big picture thing I think I would want, is that I would want to get someone who knew me personally, who I could get in touch with, and I would want to spend the 6 hours with them in the presence of some place with high-definition security cameras. Ideally, like, with sound and color and high-def video and everything. Person I trust so they know it's me, security footage so I would know that it could be trusted, and that it would still exist, even if something happened to my witness. I think that would be my big picture. Of course, the one thing I'm still thinking here is that there's still a possibility Desiree, who apparently has just absurd connections now, given that she has... God, when was Apollo Justice set? At least 25-year-old. Or hang out at a bank. I want to stay as far away from a bank as possible. What if that's the place they wind up robbing? Then I wouldn't have any alibi whatsoever. No, panic. The one possibility here there really isn't anything I could plan for. Is the possibility that as soon as I take the drug, Desiree would tell me something like, "Oh, by the way, I actually need your help going on a heist. Because, like, I don't know, there's a diplomatic incident, and if we don't manage to steal these documents back from the North Koreans, it's going to start World War III. Or, like, hey, I found out that the president of Huge Co. is actually stealing from the orphans charity, and we can't get any, like, legal recourse against him because he covered his tracks too well. So I want you to help me out with the heist against that. Like, I can't prove they're not gonna do that. But if it was someone I knew as well as Phoenix knows Desiree, I would expect they'd have a good plan and, like a good reason why they needed to lie to me about why I'm taking the pill in that case. So I think I'd probably still go through with it. I mean, let's see, worst case scenario, I either die, which I mean, like, you know, whatever. Or I wind up $15 million in debt, which, like, dog, you know you're not going to be able to collect on that, so what's the point? Like, would either of us even, like, have our lives impacted by that? It's just an abstract concept at this point. But that's my thought process. Let's follow Nicky Boy. It's night, and I don't think I can convince anyone to spend time with me for 6 hours. I need to go somewhere public. Somewhere where my presence can be easily established. Staying here is obviously bad, no customers. Some other cafe might do for a little while, but cafes inevitably close. Most of the ones in this area shut down before 11. That's not good enough for me. And what else do I have? You know, I'm pretty sure, like, the inside of a Starbucks, but Starbucks is probably closed. What doesn't close? Convenience stores. Do 24-hour convenience stores have high-def security cameras with audio? Would that be too convenient? How about a hotel room? For example, if I rent a room for the night and then call room service every hour... Depending on the store, I guess. I mean, security cameras, man. Security cameras. Just sit out in the hall in front of your door the whole time. You can't have that hour spent. Or go to the reception every now and then. Pop down to the restaurant for a meal. I think this hotel area is good. Yeah, an hour's break between each check-in is nowhere near good enough. Phoenix, you live in downtown LA. There's probably a bank within like an hour's round trip of any hotel. That should give me enough witnesses, right? Yeah, that should work. If I had a better phone, I could have even just recorded myself. Oh well. Oh, Phoenix, you doofus, you're better than this. Okay, first step after take the pill is to call Trucy and let her know I'll be out for the night. Second step is the hotel. That Parkview Avenue one is 10 minutes away, should be fine. Third step is getting noticed there as much as possible. It's simple, sure, but I shouldn't overcomplicate things here. I'm telling you, just find a security camera, sit unblinking in front of it for 6 hours. It'll be uncomfortable at the time, but you won't remember anything and you'll get $15 million. What's the problem here? I can win. I can win! There is no reason for me to fail. What would you do if you intended to get noticed as much as possible? Oh god, I have the hiccups. I don't know, actually. I'm sorry, I'm very bad at gathering attention to myself, as you can probably tell by my average audience size. I don't know, I'd probably just... Phoenix said he'll go to the hotel and make sure that would happen. I have no idea how he can do that. Well, I mean, Phoenix has no shame whatsoever. He's a different character than I am. I'm not sure. Probably just go around, hang some card, just, shake some hands, talk to people, introduce myself a lot, just like, don't be weird, but be distracting, Anyway, I can win. There's no reason for me to fail. Phoenix fails the game. Not sure most people want to shake hands with a stranger. I mean, it depends on where you grow up. If it's south of the Mason-Dixon line, it's basically mandatory. If it's north of the Mason-Dixon line, it will in fact make the person explode. So you know. I accept. I didn't doubt it for a second. Here you go. We got Nemesine, a drug received from Desiree Delight. Experimental drug. 6 hours after the subject ingested it, they lose the memory of everything that happened within those 6 hours. Nemesine, placed in the palm of your hand. Ready? Starting immediately, are we? Why not? I don't see the point in chit-chat, do you? And here I was thinking we could talk about the finer points of Russian decor. So you're gonna dry swallow that, or you take it with the grape juice? Because I don't know how it's gonna interact with grape juice. I know grapefruit juice actually contains compounds that react poorly with certain blood pressure medications. That could knock you clean on your ass. Well, here goes $15 million. And possible jail time. Here we go. I'm waiting for them to smash cut. Not really feeling much. Again, you won't really feel anything, just carry on as normal until the memory wipe hits. Did Phoenix start keeping a journal to save his memories from while he was under? Is that what a unnamed protagonist on the above level is reading? Okay, well, time now is 7:31 p.m. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And time is 1:31 a.m. Now that I'm guaranteed not to remember anything, there's gotta be some extra reason why you're doing this, right? Good afternoon, Mitsuda. Moki! Hello, robots. Welcome to a Turnabout with Too Many Faces, the second episode of our Ace Attorney Fangames showcase. Okay, so this is actually fairly complicated to review. So... God, how do I even talk like this? Moody, and all raiders, goodness gracious me. Welcome. How are you all doing tonight? Welcome, all raiders. My name is Mitsuda Madoy. I am a forensic scientist from the world of mystery novels, and today we are digging around in the annals of the Ace Attorney Fangames community to see what we can find. Let me just give you a shout out real quick, see what you are up to. First interest meeting was asking playing art. I don't know what I expected. Anyway, welcome to all raiders. Welcome Moody, welcome Hex, welcome again Moki. Haven't heard the word annals in a long time. Well, that's hardly my problem. The Ace Attorney series is fantastic. I could not possibly agree more, Hexa. Alright, to review the rather complicated. Mario, hello, it's good to see you. We haven't spoken in a while now, have we? Anyway, to catch you all up with the stream thus far. 4 people, Angel Star, Lisa Basil, Vera Mysham, and a protagonist who we have not been introduced to yet, but we have given enough details about that I'm fairly certain they're not a canon character. How's the stream been to go far? Pretty good, I'm enjoying myself, even if we haven't really gotten to anything yet. This is a case with a lot of setup, as you probably guessed. 4 people I just mentioned have been stranded in a snowy chatel out in the mountains. You know, very, very standard setup for a mystery story. With a recording on a vinyl disc, exactly like the beginning of And Then There Were None, telling them that they should not kill anybody. Which is a fairly distinct difference. Is that the setup for the Hateful Eight? Was the Hateful Eight... The Hateful Eight was a Tarantino movie, right? I didn't see it, but I heard it was one of his worst ones. Anyway, there was some debate about what that disc meant, what we all had to show for it, how concerned we should be. Yeah, just like them talking about nothing for 2 hours. Okay, so it's a Quentin Tarantino movie. I was right. Ah, detective work wins again. So after that little group split off, Vera told us that they found a journal alongside the disc. And the journal was labeled A Turnabout with Too Many Faces, which, hey, they did that thing where they said the title of the fan game in the fan game. That sent us into this nested story, which we're looking at now. After the events of Apollo Justice A's attorney, Phoenix Wright meets up with Desiree Delight again, his old former client's wife, who has challenged him to the most anime gambling game I have ever seen in my entire life. So somehow, using connections she obtained from throughout her journeys around the world, Desiree has come into possession of Nemesine, a drug that can erase your memory. We have just taken it, so we will lose our memory in 6 hours, and so will Desiree. And after that 6 hours passes, we can expect to be arrested on suspicion of committing a heist. And if we can prove ourselves innocent, we will get $5 million, but if we can't, we will not go to jail because her husband, the Phantom Thief, will confess to the murder, but we will be $15 million in debt. That is a really convoluted title. Dr. Midori wasn't implying about you can go to memory games. It's Nemesis, you know, the Greek deity of memory. It's a really, really ham-fisted, on-the-nose, meaningful name. It wasn't that difficult to remember. Anyway, it's very confusing, it's very anime, barely anything has happened, but they're setting up for a lot to happen, and I'm very excited. Thank you all for coming today, I hope you enjoy. We've just taken the memory erasing pill, so let's get back into the game. Starting now. Just with the corkboard behind and making note of everything. I don't have a corkboard behind me, I just have an industrial-sized bag of peanut butter cups. All I need is brain sugar and the knowledge that the plot is on my side. There's got to be some extra reason why you're doing this, right? Dots. Dots, but more pensive. I've been thinking a lot about dying lately. Bitch, me too, the fuck. What? Okay, there we go. There we go, I was waiting for it. There we go. There goes our memory. But a cardboard attorney's badge just spontaneously manifested in our pocket over the break. We still have our hundo. We still have the drug, but given that we just took it, I'm pretty sure that's just information on the drug and not the drug itself. I thought we would get to see what we would do, but that would defeat the point of even introducing the drug as a plot development, wouldn't it? Come on, tell me. Respect what the author's going for here. Where am I? I was just... But... Ah, crap. Yep. We're back in the courtroom. The trial will commence shortly. Oh, crap. Defendant, please enter the courtroom. I'm guessing he's referring to me, since I'm the only one here. Oh god. Well, the good news is this is Hobo Phoenix we're talking about, which means he probably pulled off some Galaxy Brain 400 IQ convoluted plan while we were under, and this is probably everything set up. At least Phoenix has the skill set to represent himself. It wouldn't be the first time. What time is it? It's 1:40 AM. You okay, sir? What if we steal evidence? You know, it wouldn't be the first time. Date? Wouldn't be appropriate, sir. No, as in the date. The date of November 22nd, 2016. I would appreciate it if you didn't glare at me. Then we have to try at 1:40 AM. Yes, welcome to Night Court, everybody. Wonder how many of the lawyers show up drunk. Any shot his shot, respect. Look, you telling me you wouldn't hit somebody with that lack of facial features? 6 hours later, practically on the dot. Why are we doing a trial at 1 in the morning? Because I've lost control of my life, sir. Actually, would you be so kind as to remind me what I'm accused of? I would assume both of those things had been explained to you. Same stupid and forgot. Please enter the courtroom, sir. Wait, I need to make a phone call. Can't afford any delay. And this guy's a robot. I want an attorney. You had elected to defend yourself. Okay, Phoenix knew this was coming. This must be part of some sort of plan. I've hit on dudes with no facial features like visual novel characters who you're not supposed to know the identity of. So... Damn it, I knew I hired too good of an artist. Curse is foiled again. Sir, if I may give you a piece of advice, pretending to be insane does not give the kind of glamorous results you might hope. I am insane. No insane person admits their own insanity, sir. I shouldn't have done this, should I? That, I believe, is between you and the judge now, sir. Alright. Let's go assess the damage, I guess. Okay, the worst has clearly happened. Don't know what else we expected. I've not only managed to get myself arrested, I've managed to get myself arrested so hard that they've set up a trial for me in the middle of the night. Desiree's done a hell of a job. It'll be fine, Phoenix. She said she wouldn't let you go to jail. Still, if it escalated up to this point, I might be losing the bet. Unless I can prove myself innocent. But Phoenix Wright prove somebody's innocence? I don't buy it for a second. I wonder if she died. This is a no casualties run, Otome. I told you already. They made it for the contest. It has to be true. Which, you know, might be difficult with the. Court is now in session for the trial of really? Really? Again? For God's sake, Mr. Wright, this is the third time in a decade. Right. You simply can't stop getting yourself into trouble, can you? My accent is terrible, but Clavier's is canonically fake, so I'm gonna roll with it. Okay, Clavier's profile on the court record reads, prosecutor by day, rock star by night. Not sure what he does at dusk. Curse fate for making us cross paths this many times? I don't know. Which is great. I love this case. I like to think it finds me more than the other way around. Too bad we can't see the items. Yeah, I don't have a good idea for the layout here. The court record screen is just kind of off to the side of the game window you all are seeing, and it is like 2.5 screen widths wide. It would take up so much space. Alright, let's talk about Clavier some more. It's really how capable you are getting out of it that counts, if you ask me. You believe Lady Luck is still smiling on you? She has yet to fail me. Alright, yeah. Project confidence. Again. Like a boss, again. And yet, that is a first time for everything, yeah? I suppose I should be grateful the charges are not for murder for a change. Silver linings, right? Before we begin, I extend my sincere apologies to both the defendant and the prosecution. As if the current circumstances in the city weren't causing enough difficulty to begin with. Due to the rather erratic progress in implementing the jurist system, and the rising crime rate, the trial scheduling is as it turned out to be. It was between this and setting it 3 months from now. As you are both well aware, our justice system does not do well with such delays. For what it's worth here, right, I tried my best to work something out. Alas, the Prosecutors Committee Board believed the matter was clear-cut. Not even the Chief Prosecutor's word carried enough weight to convince them otherwise. Well, if it was between this and being in detention for 3 months, I guess this is better. I guess. If we have to, Then again, if this goes south, I might be locked up for a lot more than 3 months. Only trials occurred this quickly in the real world, and no, I'm pretty sure that would just result in more false arrests. God knows we have enough of those as is. But, it's important to stay optimistic in these situations. Speedy investigations lead to a lot of oversights. Yeah, don't I know that? What are the chances the competence of the police department shot up in a month? For the sake of clarity, let me state that this will not be a jury trial. The defendant's right rests solely on the evidence and my own judgment. Now then, are the defense and prosecution ready? Well, the prosecution is ready to rock, Judge. And the defense is ready to roll. Away from here, if possible. Very good. The prosecution may deliver its opening statement. As much as I may doubt it, that there is a good chance that this is your last dance here, right? And if it is... My god, Clavia shredded so hard he left after images. Allow me to give you the solo that dance deserves. Achtung, baby! This one goes out to all the disgraced attorneys out there. The crime in question is that of theft. It happened roughly 4 hours ago. The stage was the Van Dyne Museum of Anthropology. Van Dyne, of course, incredibly influential mystery novelist, contemporary of Christie and Queen and Carr. I respect the influence he had on much better writers, but to be honest, I think he was a hack. The stolen item is only known as the Golden Mask, and that, I read this in the credits page before we hit go live, was cropped off the cover of an Edogawa Rampo novel. Perhaps somewhat poetically. Actually, Doctor, when you say a writer is a hack, what does that mean? I don't like Van Dyne. His signature detective character, Philo Vance, is totally insufferable. His cases were very straightforward and didn't really have that much actual mystery to them. I mean, like, I technically they did, but there was no misdirection, and there was too much evidence for not enough cleverness in the plot. And his writing style was so dry my mouth dries out every time I leaf through the Green Murder case. But enough of that, let's talk about crime. Enough about fictional crime, let's talk about real fictional crime. Perhaps somewhat poetically. It is a remnant of a legendary thief who terrorized Japan some 100 years ago. Oh yes, my granddaughter is fascinated with these sorts of things. As I recall, the thief was a Frenchman, the infamous A.L. And that stint in Japan was his last. The police cornered him, shot him, and watched him helplessly fall into the water, where his body was never recovered, thus calling into question whether he ever actually died. Yeah, I've heard this, I've done this song and dance before, game. Call me when you get something new. But if he died 100 years ago, then what was his connection to this case? Spirit channeling, ancestor... I'm curious where we're going with this. This mask is the only part of it that was fished out afterwards. Yep, who called it? Who called it? I called it. Now, what do you need of me? Really, it's all we have left of our darling thief. At least, it would be, had the defendant not taken it from us. What would I even want this thing for? It's not like I'm poor or something. The legacy of this particular thief still lives strong. Many members of his bloodline have taken up their ancestors' profession. If you don't know who he was behind the mask, how do you know what his bloodline was? Have you ever read Heard the 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton? I've not read it myself, but someone else from the Mystery Sphere I know has, and they said it was perfectly okay. Kinda dry, not particularly surprising. Which is why I didn't pick it up. Anyway, thieves. Simply put, it's an object with some guaranteed buyers, yeah? Or yeah? And with your recent connections, getting in touch with those buyers would be easy. Sounds more like speculation than hard proof to me. Where is the mask now, Prosecutor Govern? That is, unfortunately, a question still unanswered. The prosecution has found more than enough substantial evidence to charge her, right? When he was arrested, the mask was not found in his possession. And he has not been forthcoming with information on where he has hidden it. Didn't take it, didn't hide it, didn't tell you because I didn't know. As you will see soon enough, Herr Judge, that is not very likely. Missing or not, the court will accept this mask as evidence. A mask allegedly worn by an infamous French thief killed in Japan 100 years ago during his very last crimes. We've stolen from the Vandy match anthropology, currently missing nothing we didn't already know from that summary. With the charges out of the way, I say we move on to the main show. The prosecution calls the security guard who was on duty at the time of the robbery. She will fill you in on the events much better than I can. Who's it gonna be? Please state your name and occupation for the court. Goodness me. Angel Star. I'm a security guard at the Van Dyne Museum of Anthropology. Interesting. Angel Star was one of the 4 people who were in the closed circle on the narrative above us. But that obviously must have taken place after this, given that we were reading about it. But in that case, she said she was still a detective. Well, okay, absolute credit where it's due. All she said was that she did things detective style. It seems unlikely that she'd lose her job as a police detective, get demoted to security guard, then come back later. So that's interesting. Unless there's a double bluff of some sort. And the narrative our protagonist in the upper level is reading is not what we're reading right now. Oh, how convoluted. Oh, what tangled webs we weave, to quote Phoenix. Angel Star. I'm a security guard at the Van Dyne Museum of Anthropology. Part-time, of course. I was the one on duty when that gentleman over there stole the mask. Allegedly stole. Phoenix, you look like you're high as a kite. What the hell, man? You, been hitting the grape juice a bit too hard? Phoenix, you know what makes Trucy upset when you do that. Well, I am allegedly a pro. I can prove it was you. Even those monkeys in the prosecutor's office managed to put it together. Fräulein Star, I would appreciate it if you refrained from making such remarks. In a sense, I suppose I bring these things on myself. Statistics dictate that some security guards will inevitably get caught up in a robbery. I just didn't believe Van Dien had anything worth stealing. Had I known what that thing actually was, I wouldn't have bothered, trust me. Your enthusiasm for your job is an inspiration to us all, Miss Starr. Try as I might, the law machine is a shadow I can't seem to shake off. So you wanted to quit your job as a detective. Curiouser and curiouser. Once a detective, always a detective, I guess? I'm sorry, do I know you? Please be so kind and tell us about what happened. Angel's last meeting with Phoenix was a fairly memorable case. It's weird that she doesn't recognize him. Could she be the Master of Disguise? Is there a Master of Disguise? I'm kinda just assuming there is because the case is called Too Many Faces. And we know there's a fiend with too many faces on at least one level. Preferably without calling anyone in this room a monkey, yeah? Yeah. Especially since I've always seen your breed as close to worms anyhow. No worm? Oh my god, testimony. Stop the presses. I work the night shift at the Van Dyne Museum. Nobody comes by, usually. My main task includes patrolling the museum, checking all of the rooms. I had checked the exhibition hall at around 9:15. Everything was fine then. When I checked it again at around 9:35, I realized the mask was gone. The only person who entered the exhibition hall between my two visits is the defendant. So, you see, there's nobody else who could have done it. The museum's front entrance is outfitted with security cameras. Only on the entrance? That seems pretty cheap for a museum. It confirms that the only visitor that night was her right. But the 4 people at the beginning also took a pill that makes them forget things for 6 hours. What did Desiree say? Desiree said there was like a specific finite number of pills she had access to. Was it 6 or 7? Yeah, but I've only needed 6 to get everyone, the both of us and everyone in that crime scene. She could be the unnamed main character in a disguise. She was wearing a leather jacket. Well, tell me, I think you might actually be onto something. And furthermore, the exhibition hall where the mask was kept also has cameras. There we go. They're not pathetic. While the mask itself is not within their range, they do capture everyone walking through it. Given that there is only one way in and out. Besides Fraulein Starr making her rounds, here is the only other person captured. Look at this photograph. Well, in fairness, Your Honor, that could be anyone. This is the footage captured by one camera. The second one is of higher resolution. My, that appears to be Mr. Wright. Appears, Your Honor. That is Herr Wright. Or does he deny that he was in the museum that night? You see, there's a funny story about that. That's totally me. How? The plan was to hole up in a hotel. this Desiree in some kind of disguise? Hell of a disguise, though. I plead the fifth for the time being, Your Honor. What a surprise. What else can I do? Saying I was there forced me to try to explain myself, which I can't. Saying I wasn't forced me to try to explain the camera footage, which I also can't. There's a lot we can't do with this much evidence. Silence is golden. Did I miss anything imperative during my brief drive? I mean, they just presented a security camera footage of us going to the... at the very least, to the museum where the theft took place. Probably. Actually, Moki, how long have you been gone? I'm not sure how long you've been gone. Do you know about the golden mask? Do you know about the theft? Do you know what I just said about Desiree? Do you know what Otome just rather cleverly deduced about the narrative layer above us? But yeah, the most important thing is that we are currently staring down the barrel of a security camera footage of us going to the crime scene. The defense will only point out that in this day and age, appearances can be deceiving. The last thing I heard was the judge apologizing for being here at 1 a.m. Okay, there's a bit. There's a bit to go over. Hold on 1 second. So our first witness on the scene... Wait, no, I think that was back before we introduced the mask. So Phoenix is on trial, being accused of stealing a golden mask that had previously belonged to a French phantom thief who allegedly died 100 years ago in Japan, from a museum. The first witness we've been presented with is Angel Star, ex-police detective, current security guard, who is also, this is the interesting bit, one of the people trapped in the closed circle in the snowy inn on the narrative level above us, which we're allegedly reading about this case in a journal about. Now, when she was up there, she still talked about doing things detective style, but down here... she's talking like she wants to deliberately get away from the police. That got Otome, let's give credit where credit is due, that got Otome talking about the possibility that the people in the inn may have also taken Nemesine, the memory erasing drug. And then she fielded the possibility that our viewpoint character in that stage could be Desiree herself, which made me remember that she was wearing a leather jacket just like Desiree. Then she presented 2 pictures from the security camera of us going to the museum. For some reason I keep forgetting the word museum. Going to the museum, which is suspicious because A, we were the only people who did that night, and B, we had made up our mind before taking the memory eraser drug that we would not do that thing. So it's very concerning. And now we're here. And that, if the prosecution intends to claim I was there, I would much rather see some forensic evidence to point to my presence. I will take the prosecutor's silence at face value. The court accepts this footage as evidence. Alright, let me do my level best to see if there's anything in here. Footage in the main exhibit room taken by the security cameras on the night of the heist. Taken directly after the security guard's last round and before the mask was discovered missing. Alright, these 2... there's gotta be a reason they gave us 2 pictures. They were taken on the same day. They were taken... maybe 20 seconds apart. They appear to be in the same place. Phoenix is standing in the same spot. I don't see the difference between the two. Thinking about it, why would she introduce herself as an artist? Well, thinking about it, why would she run this little gamble at all? She's obviously running some sort of complicated con. Maybe she wanted people to not know it was her. Or maybe she did take up art after her husband took up Phantom Fever, you don't know. After I realized the mask was missing, I immediately called the police. Her rights evidence standards aside, based on the evidence you've just seen, we quickly zeroed in on our suspects. Herr Wright was not in his home. Instead, we tracked him to the Parkview Avenue Hotel. He'd arrived and reserved a room at around 8 p.m., a little over an hour before the crime. Glad to see I at least tried sticking to the plan. Alright, hotel reservation added to the court record. Go to 8. Alright, the first photo is from 9/22, which means... excuse me. Which means if we did stick to the plan, we should have called in half an hour before. Caught on that picture. Says Ray will probably wait until the last minute to show up. She'd want to ensure the case against me was proven in order to win the bet. That's my deadline to figure all this out. Mr. Wright, you may commence your cross-examination. And here we go. How long have you been working there? This'll be interesting. 2 weeks now, so longer than 6 hours, but... not very long at all. So the way I see it, there are 3 possibilities. I mean, objectively, there are 3 possibilities. Either this is happening... I don't know about y'all, but I just trust literally anything Angel says. I did notice when she first showed up, she didn't remember us. Which shouldn't be affected by Nemesine, because it only raises 6 hours and we met several years ago. During a very eventful time. So she should be, like, trustworthy in the sense that she's probably not going to deliberately get an innocent person thrown in jail. Assuming that is her. Anyway, either this is happening after the... Either this is happening before... Come on, Mitsu, think your way through. Think your way through. Either this is happening before the little trick that took place on the upper level with people getting trapped in the chattel, and this is being read about in the journal Vera found, as we thought. Or it's happening afterwards and we're being tricked. I don't know which of those options is more suspicious given what we're seeing now. Not exactly a long tenure, is it? Why are you so confident nobody ever stops by? You ever get a sudden urge to visit a museum in the middle of the night? Not especially, no. Exactly. I feel like this has to be in the past, but Angel still talked like she was a detective in the past. But now she talks like she never wants to be a detective again. Plus, I mean, that sort of twist would be exactly what I'd expect. Of course, Herr Wright, it's not something you would usually do. What were you doing there? Do you think of a reason besides stealing the mask, To be clear, I'm still pleading the 5th. But hypothetically speaking, if I went to a museum at night, it'd be to appreciate fine works of art, for sure. And the reason I do it at night is because I'm a fairly busy man. Given my tight schedule, I also wouldn't call such a visit a sudden urge or anything. I need to plan it in advance, check with my secretary, etc, etc. Boy, sure weaseled out of that one, didn't you? Frankly, Miss Star, I'm more interested in you. What exactly are your duties as a night guard? Patrolling. We'll try to catch her patrolling. And riding dirty. How big is the museum all in all? It takes about 20 minutes to check everything, give or take. There are only 3 rooms reserved for visitors, one of them being the exhibition hall. The rest are for staff or management. Because of that, it's not difficult to notice something is amiss. How often do you make rounds? Management says once every 2 hours is enough. But I never stop walking. So you could say I make 3 of them every hour. That's impressive. It's too boring to spend the whole night holed up in a booth. Your tenacity has certainly rewarded us, Fraulein Star. Let's turn up the dial on your last 2 rounds specifically. Checked the exhibition at about 9:15, everything was fine. Did you notice anything strange before you saw the mask missing? Kind of the strange hobo who I spotted entering the exhibition hall just after I'd left? No, there weren't any other visitors that night, notable or otherwise. Given how empty everything was, I think you might have thought the entire museum was deserted. Certainly gave you the confidence to try to pull this off, didn't you? Let's keep this on track, yeah? You're saying Harriet was the only visitor the museum had on your shift. Do you consider this important, Harriet? Absolutely. Sounds pretty important, yeah. When in doubt, get more info. In that case, please update your testimony to include this, Miss Star. Oh, why anything for you, Your Honor. Question is, how can I disprove this? No other visitors, what about staff? For instance, someone would have been at the reception to welcome me, right? Are you playing dumb? Oh, honey, I assure you. I never play. 7 PM onwards, the reception desk is closed. All nightly visitors use the automated ticket dispenser to get past the entrance area. Of course, being there, you already knew this. Can the automated ticket dispenser be tampered with? Let someone enter without a ticket, I mean. I wouldn't know. Wouldn't really care. Yeah, Angel is incredibly relatable in that he doesn't actually get paid to care about whether or not her business is robbed from. After all, everyone going in gets captured by the cameras. Okay, but like, you still don't care, right? That's very obvious. You included, darling. Right. Now this little detour aside, I think we're all waiting to hear about your return to the exhibition room. I checked again about 9:35. In a minute. 9:15, 9:35, 9:22, 9:23. She very specifically said that the cameras weren't inside. Hold on. Something's happening in my brain. What did you do then? Oh, besides die from embarrassment? I called the police, of course. A patrol call reached the scene in less than 10 minutes. The rest of the cavalry was all there just a little bit before 10. What is this weird trend of the police arriving in like 2 milliseconds with no crime happening? I don't know. I don't have a joke to say about that, that's just weird. Except the one time they had to show up to catch the guy who hit me with his car. What were you doing during those 10 minutes, Miss Star? Again, dying of embarrassment aside. Security staff had an app that allows them to send the museum in lockdown. Yes, thanks to the miracle of technology, there's now an app for that. The moment I saw the mask missing, I triggered it. No in or out until the police came. As for me, I stayed in the exhibition hall to preserve the scene. Didn't feel like going after the culprit. If he was still in the building, he was trapped until the police showed up. If he wasn't, what was I supposed to do? The latter was the case, for the record. When the police arrived, the building was searched top to bottom. No intruder was found. So then why did you include the detail about the lockdown, Herr Author? Is it going to come up, or is it not? Implying that by 9:35, Star was the only person left in the building? Closes some doors. Speaking of how runaway the culprits... The prisoner to the exhibition hall. But you're basing this conclusion strictly on the camera footage, right? Not a particularly bad thing to place trust in. The camera footage was being transmitted to a security company off-premises. There were no signs of tampering either on the camera or the footage. Is it really impossible to walk around the exhibition hall without being seen? There's only one way in, and it's under surveillance. The ventilation system is within the camera's view too. Beyond that, the room is windowless. Where do our people coming from? And before we start talking about secret passages, we made sure to check for those. Nothing. I don't know how you feel so confident about that. I've only been investigating a few hours. As compensation for the short trial time, the manpower was doubled. Oh, rest assured, we investigated every nook and cranny of that place here, right? Whoever stole the mask must have been seen by the camera. That's a fact. He said it in red text, so we can probably trust it. And the only one seen was you. I suppose it wasn't. Pardon? You know, just thinking out loud. Suppose it was someone who looked just like me. Do you have any physical evidence tying me, Phoenix Wright, to the scene? The culprit managed to avoid leaving fingerprints. Rest assured, however, there is plenty of evidence still tying you here, right? No, don't keep me in suspense. Oh, we'll get to it soon enough. Oh, Clavier, you smug prick. Well, even now, you should see the conclusion, shouldn't you? Well, I resent that. Honestly, it's very rude of you to accuse me of this. Poor you. Should I get you a tiny violin? It just seems like a really rash conclusion to reach in such a short amount of time. If Phoenix went somewhere else, there could be footage of that, too bad he won't remember where. I mean, it really comes down, depends on where he went. Might have been somewhere without security cameras. And yet, plenty enough time to explain your actions. Which you have not done yet. All in good time, Prosecutor Gavin. All in good time. Excuse me, I just yawned. You really are seeing just how much better new Phoenix is at bluffing than old Phoenix. Just pretend you know what you're doing and everything that's happening now is part of your plan. Sounds to me like you're stalling for time, honestly. Wouldn't dream of it. How about you make this easy for everyone and just confess, hmm? I refer you to my previous answer. For your sake, Harriet, I hope you know what you're doing here. How do I start here? My mind is a blank. Literally. Oh. All things considered, I don't think the right approach will be figure out what I did that night, but rather approach this as any other trial. Separate yourself from it, Phoenix. Defend as if defending a stranger. If you still remember how to do that, that is. Alright, no other guests that night. This is the new statement we got by pressing, so I'm not sure what, so it's probably the one we're looking for. The only thing we have that really relates to the museum is the camera footage. Now, I was in the process of saying earlier, the camera footage we have is from 9/22 and 9/23. Angel said she went in at 9:15, saw us go into the exhibition hall as she left, and that we were going by 9:35. Now, there are no security cameras physically inside the mask chamber, but we show up on this footage. I really do think that's the best option we've got. The question is, where do we present it? This would check out logically, seeing as how it's a new statement. But I know DWaM has in the past had a habit of punishing that sort of metagaming. Rather sadistically, if you ask me. Like I said, I never liked him as a fan game maker. I preferred his prose stories. Yeah, that's wrong. Okay, I see. I'm afraid that's just not possible, Miss Starr. Oh? Which part in particular? It's very simple. There's no way I'm the culprit. Check it out. I got my guy right here. Ronald Knox. Great. I don't know who that is. Well, according to the 7th rule of Knox's Decalogue for writing good mysteries, nobody whose thoughts the reader has been privy to can be the culprits. Checkmate. But I believe this is part of Harright's process. Just as this is part of mine. Shame, nobody here appreciates good mysteries anymore. Let us just pretend that didn't happen, yeah? Fräulein Stahl, you were saying? Alright. I'm gonna reload. I'm gonna save some shamelessly because that's very quick and very easy. And when it comes to difficulty curves, a flat majority of fan games are, as we all know, complete bullshit. Alright, I can think of two approaches we could attack this from. We could go the route of accusing the same thing I just said, just finding a different statement to present it on, or we could argue that there's no way we could have smuggled the mask under our clothes. That option seems like less reliable to present using the evidence we have on hand. So I think I'm gonna keep trying the approach I had before. I don't expect this to work, but... yeah, no. There's only one. Only the first objection. I'm already trying to brute force that this isn't a good sign, chat. It's a good sign at all. Do we know how far away from the hotel the museum is? This isn't it. Nope. Trying to think if maybe it's something to do with... Do I have to present a profile? Is that where we're going with that? No. Five arose, the mask was gone. The only person who entered the exhibition hall between my two visits is the defendant. What am I meant to take away from this? Alright, I don't think there's any lies in her claiming she stayed at the Van Dien Museum. If we're meant to accuse her, I literally just tried that, it didn't work. Besides which, we do still have to try to defend ourselves, not just toss out random accusations. I checked the exhibition hall at 9:15, everything was fine. Can't see if the text is typing. Ah, you needy little bastards. No other visitors that night. When I checked it again at around 9:35, I've realized the mask was gone. What am I looking at for? I did this already. The person who entered the exhibition hall between my two visits was the defendant. Come on, come on. Even if no one got me, I know my homie Ronnie now got me. She said she was there too. She's the security guard. The police caught her at the scene. She didn't do anything. Like, come on. We need more than that. Up, time to just try to brute force our way in. Alright, present her pills does not get us anything. Can I bribe you into looking away? Would you like to see my badge? Dang it. Okay, I'm sure this is as interesting for you as it is for me. Come on, something here is going to break. Would not have gotten such a high rating at the contest if you were going to just break first. First testimony. Your Honor, I object. On what grounds? It's devastating to my case. I object, but you not object. You person. You matter. When I find out what this is, I'm going to either feel incredibly stupid or be incredibly angry. Objection, objection, objection. Let's crack this bad boy open. Even if we have to use a sledgehammer instead of a scalpel. Oh, Ronnie, why won't you save us? Break, damn you! I think this pill is the sort of thing that's going to be sitting in our evidence all case until we find it. Find a use for, like, at the very end when we connect the 2 points. Okay, I don't know where we put it, but I'm sure the badge is going to be the answer. I got a good feeling. About this one. Please. Please just let me save my game. I'll brute force the answer at some point, surely. Yes, surely. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Checkmate, da. Press too much at the hall. Between my 2 visits was the defendants. Dragonic, hello Dragonic, welcome to the stream. We are in a full just brute force because whatever the answer is, it doesn't make sense mode. I feel like what the issue here is should be fairly obvious, but I'm not sure how to convey it. There is a walkthrough I could look at back on the forum page. But since this is a browser game, I can't just conveniently flip back to it without, you know, totally ruining your view of the stream. I can check it for if you want. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. If I want it, I will find a way to boo it myself. Alright, that's every statement. Let me see here. There's nothing strange? No, no. So I say not particularly. My question wasn't, was that, see this is what I was talking about earlier. DWaM loves putting, like, little bits about Ace Attorney in it, like in a real Ace Attorney game, you would never ever benefit from not saying, yes, add that to your testimony. Figured this was gonna be it if it wasn't one of the statements we already had. Like, I'm sorry, I don't think that's fair game design. I don't think that's sort of meta play, especially this early on. Like, this wasn't like something that was deliberately done to mislead us by the culprit or an honest mistake we made. This was just... this game mechanic does not work the way it's supposed to. DWaM, and here I thought you were starting to get your shit together. My question wasn't, was there anyone else that night? But, did you notice anything strange? It almost feels like you tried dodging the question, Miss Star. Oh, dear me, does it? Oh, well, in that case, my answer is bound to disappoint you. Because no, up until I found the mask to be missing, nothing strange happened. Do you consider this to be of some importance, Mr. Wright? Are you double bluffing? If you're double bluffing, I'm actually going to hurt someone. I don't really know. In other words, you're wasting everyone's time on semantics. Oh, I don't know. I'm certain I learned something fairly valuable just now. Just have to figure out what it is and how it helps me. Alright, that didn't get us anything new. What happens if I say this? It is astounding how important I find it, Your Honor. Let us not deny you information as crucial as this, then. Miss Starr, if you'd be so kind as to update your testimony. Well, since you asked so nicely. After finding that the mask was missing, absolutely nothing suspicious had happened. Besides the strange hobo walking in, right? Yes. Besides the strange hobo walking in. For what it's worth, you were a hobo who paid the entrance fee. There's the money! Or more accurately, there's not the money. Chat, do you see what the answer is? You might not have an extra bonus because... money we got. There we go! Otome! Otome, you're the perfect Watson. The money is still in our court record, and the amount we have has not gone down since before we took the pills. And as long as he hadn't stolen anything. Yes, that too. You can probably imagine my surprise when I went back to the exhibition hall. What happened exactly? Question is, how do we present it? Nope. Okay, game, now you're just being mean. Honestly, this is just cruel and unusual. Come on, I already see the answer. There's no need to be like this. Do we just need to present the money or something? No, Otome, I literally just did that. I know you all can see. Where do I start here? My mind is a blank, literally. Like, you can see down in the corner, you can see what I'm going in to present when I'm... If this is the answer, I'm going to, like... I might be tempted to just fucking end stream right then and there. DWaM, you're a good writer, but you're a bad person. And also a bad game designer, but mostly a bad person. So literally nothing we've seen in the entire game up to this point has mattered a hill of beans. I feel like... feels like we've skipped a few steps in our logic here. I can understand the distrust in little ol' me. But usually that comes only when I'm the last suspect standing. Implication being that we've overlooked someone. Of course. From everything you've said, only 2 people were in that exhibition hall. I can accept you believing I was one of them. But what about the second person? Sounds more like an accusation than an implication. Thinking out loud here, but... suppose the mask was already gone by the time I entered the exhibition hall. Implication being that Miss Starr had taken it on her round before you showed up. Hid it outside the building in between those rounds. And then reported the mask stolen when she came back. Sounds plausible to me. If the mask wasn't in its case when I entered, I wouldn't have thought much of it. Most people would assume it was a way for restoration or something, right? Oh, that's true. After all, okay, rude. I would love to hear your story here, Judge, but I'm afraid time is of the essence. Especially with Haywright's last statement. Huh? Firstly, to clear up an issue. The mask could not have been stolen by Fraulein Starr. Period. In addition to the front entrance, the other entrances are also covered by cameras. Fraulein Starr never left the building. Meaning she could not have stashed the mask. If she could not stash the mask, the police would have been found by the time the police were searching, you know what I'm trying to say. Ergo, she is not the culprit. Doesn't mean she couldn't have passed it to someone else, does it? If there was another person in the building seen leaving... My ego's been wounded enough tonight, I don't need this, you know. Weren't you listening to what Herr Gavin here just told you? The entire building's surrounded by cameras. From this, we know that by 8:10 p.m., Fraulein Starr was the only person left. And yes, we know she really was the only one left. Simple matter of counting. Person goes in, person later leaves. Incidentally, the last person to leave, Fraulein Starr was left alone, was the daytime security guard, which was when the shift change occurred. Said guard has given us a sworn statement that the mask was still there at the time. The only other person seen entering or leaving at that time is you, Mr. Wright. Outside cameras added to the court record. The museum is surrounded by cameras. At 8:10 p.m., Starr was the only person left in the museum. The only person to arrive and leave after that is me. Everyone else entering earlier in the day was captured to be leaving. At the time the police arrived, Starr was the only person left in the museum. She was never captured leaving at any point. That seems pretty conclusive. As for your point that Fraulein Starr was dishonest about her movements, Unfortunately for you, we can confirm those as well. The cameras on the inside only cover the areas for visitors. However, for the staff areas, there are other means of verifying a person's presence. All of the non-visitor rooms, even the staff bathrooms, have a special lock on them. The only way to get to any of them is with one of these. Every staff member gets one. Pretty nifty things, to be honest. You can only use them at the times you've scheduled your shift. For example, I work night shifts. If I tried using mine in the morning, it wouldn't work. And obviously, if you leave your position, the clearance gets revoked altogether. Okay, that's proof someone used your card, but it's not proof that you were honest about your movements. And there's the risk of inside jobs, I guess. Most importantly, every usage gets logged. This is one of DWaM's signature tricks. A lot of his cases involve logs. It's logs, they're big, they're heavy, they're wood. They're logs, they're better than bad, they're good. Everyone loves the log. We will get to it at a later stage of the trial, but for the time being, the logs suggest that Fraulein Stahl was walking around the museum. You don't say. My first thought was that since there are no cameras in the staff room, maybe someone was in a staff room. I mean, we still have yet to disprove that. Wait, security card. Every staff-only door in the museum locks automatically when closed. The only way to open any of them is through the use of a security card. Each member of the personnel gets one. At times when the individual is not scheduled to be on duty, or leaves their position, the card's clearance is revoked automatically. Didn't clarify that only one person can enter a room after using a card either. True. Very true. This isn't looking good. No matter how much I try, I can't wiggle myself out. It's like there's no two ways about it. The person in the footage definitely stole the mask. How am I going to prove that it isn't me? Now, with all that cleared up, shall we talk about how Herright implicated himself a few moments ago? Or to deal with whatever that's about? You all heard it, did you not? If the mask wasn't in its case when I entered, I wouldn't have thought much of it. Most people would assume it was a way for restoration or something, right? With that statement, Herright has proven that he has seen the mask at least once before. How else, after all, could he have known that it was kept in a case? The camera footage is still being sorted through, however, I have not yet received word that Herright was ever seen in the museum before the heist. Something tells me I never will. Am I wrong, Herright? In addition, earlier when I was presenting the facts of the case, if you'll remember, I purposely showed you a photograph of the mask out on a stand, not in a case. Meaning that the only time you could have possibly known about where the mask was kept was if you were in the museum just a few hours ago. In spite of pleading silence and attempting to be dodgy on the matter at every turn, Herright's own words have just proven that the person in this photograph is undoubtedly him. Well done, prosecutor. I was wondering why you were careful with the details. Herright is an intelligent man. Intelligence, however, gives way to arrogance. What just happened? Why did I say that? I mean, I didn't do it. I don't remember what I did, but I'm not a thief. Get it together, Phoenix. Just think about it for 2 seconds. This isn't a gotcha moment. You don't even have enough money for gotchas. It's just a choice of words. If you finish having your moment, Prosecutor Gavin, exhibits being in protective cases isn't exactly unheard of. I just made an educated guess. The photograph of the mask you'd shown us, completely forgot about it. Totally normal. I mean, you didn't even put it in the court record. Ah, so your official position is that the man in the footage is not you. My official position is the same as it was 15 minutes ago. And the position was that of silence. You're not doing yourself any favors here, you know? Yeah, tell me about it. Oh god, my pain. About 15 minutes ago since you've been pretty stuck. Hey, I saved and reloaded very frequently. For the time being, I'm more interested about the protective case itself. Yeah, there's not much to it. It's not so much of the case itself that's important. You can remove the glass by hand. It's the pressure pad that the mask is placed on. If there's a difference in weight, an alarm gets triggered. Sirens and everything. Sirens and everything, huh? Yeah, it turns out the everything is actually mounted machine guns launched on the wall. That would explain why we didn't find the true culprits. They were reduced to just vapor in the atmosphere. Protective case added to the court record. In any case, he did a funny. He made a humorous shape. He said something that made us laugh. I do believe we've heard enough from Ms. Starr. Given the time at our disposal, I believe we should leave the restaurant. I'm afraid I can't let things just move on, Your Honor. There's a few odd points still left in Ms. Starr's testimony. It's just me to think about the judge look at face with eyes and nose and a big mouth. I've been playing this franchise for years and I've honestly never seen that before. It kind of focused, the edges of the circle can look like a pair of horns on his head, though. And given some of the new information we've just gotten, I'd say I'm allowed to re-examine it. If you wish. The investigation has been rushed. We should at least try and ensure the trial isn't. No objections from this end, Herr Judge. Please, continue with the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Alright, once more to the reach, dear friends. We got the case itself. I realized the mask was gone. I'll interrogate you about this. What'd you do then, besides die from embarrassment? That didn't help at all. Alright, there we have it. There we have it. Now, what is the case effect? That's what we got new. Press for more information. checked around at 9:15. Nothing suspicious means nothing suspicious. What was the first statement again? No other visitors to the museum that night. Let's see. That's definitely not anything. Let's swap back in that second statement. Nothing suspicious happened. The protective case. This has to be it. This absolutely has to be it. I refuse to consider any possibility to the contrary. That would just be so obviously wrong. Oh, thank God. Nothing? Nothing strange. In your neighborhood. Then why did you call? Not even the alarm that would have been triggered while the mask was being stolen. I knew you'd ask about that. If this is the reason you wish to extend this cross-examination, you should have said so earlier and saved yourself some time. Nyeh. Nyeh. Nyeh? Nyo? 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 Fraulein Starr never heard the alarm because the alarm never went off. The alarm never went off because, well... the prosecution intends for the next witness to elaborate on that. Day 2. Hey, we're back up here with these guys again. That sure was a series of events that just happened. Alright. Atome, I know this is going to drive you up the wall, but we've been here for 3 hours and my throat feels like it's about to tear. Despite what we went over earlier, I did enjoy this case quite a bit. Thank you to Moody Presence for the raid, thank you Dragonic, everybody, all the people who showed up today. Despite what I said earlier, I did enjoy this case quite a bit actually. My brain is already spinning trying to think of ways all this is going to connect. Because you know it is, otherwise they wouldn't have made it a single case. It's very interesting high concepts, and hopefully there won't be any more super mean moments like that. And we're going to be rating VTuber Truck, because they're a truck. Everybody please treat Truck with all the respect you would treat me while we were in the neighborhood. I will see all of you in the future. Bye-bye.